selecting someone because of the heart. Do you think that plays a role predominantly in why men seek matches, or is it more in terms of like a calculated assessment of a woman?
It's not calculated. The men in the manosphere who have been divorced, they think back and they're like, okay, now I understand. But when a 25-year-old or 27-year-old man gets married, it's not calculated. It's usually, I'm talking about the 80% of men. It's, oh, I love her and she's the best, right? In my
Mhm.
27 years, I've never met a better woman. And
Okay.
the woman is pushing usually to get married. And then the man wakes up on Tuesday and, he's in Jamaica somewhere on his damn honeymoon.
He don't know how he got there, TLA. He don't know how he got there. He just woke
He
up in Jamaica.
I know you don't want to hear it, Suzette. So many
Ay,
men,
ay,
I've seen
ay.
it. So many men get led by the nostrils to the altar.
Wait. We love the word accountability. They're not choosing that person. They're led by the nostrils. They don't have no say.
All right, let's be precise. They allow themselves to be
Mm,
led by the nostrils. It is
interesting.
they are followers in their own marriages. Now, and just to go back to the business thing, because I saw what you brought up with the steel curtain. The steel curtain is absolutely right. Marriage can look like a business on the end, right? Not in
Yeah.
the beginning with well, I mean, it can kind of look like a business too when you put a down payment on the venue and the flowers
Yeah,
and the women with the hair, the makeup. That absolutely looks like a bit. There are some people profiting from your marriage. That's true. But the
exactly.
institution of marriage is not a business on the front end. It looks amazingly like a business on the back end, especially if you take children out of it. If you put
Mm,
children into it, then it gets kind of messy. But
yeah.
if me and you, Suzette, get married like so many people want us to do,
Ha!
and we get divorced, just you and me, no kids, that damn thing is gonna look like a business dissolution.
Yeah.
It's gonna look exactly like a business. So the steel curtain is absolutely right. It doesn't look like a business, but it looks like a business dissolution. And so maybe
Mm,
that's where people kind of get it
people get
confused.
it.
And
Okay.
if you do get married, there are tax breaks and there are certain advantages that you can get. So that corporations and businesses get. So I get it. But the institution of marriage itself is not a business.
Understood. So I have Mixed Master Miko saying this is why men should get married in their 30s, and Mr. Albert added not in their 30s, but their 40s. Knowing what you know as a divorce attorney, would you advise anybody to get married in their 20s, especially men?
Let
Stretch it out.
me stretch it out. Here's the thing. What I have seen and what you guys don't see is the vast number of men out there who are living different lives. All right. There are men in the military. There are men who are disabled, like they don't have any legs. There are men with mental retardation issues. There are men who are in this country illegally. There are men who will benefit from a marriage in ways that you guys do not consider because you are not in that situation, right? You're just a regular American and you're not in the military, so you don't need these extra BAH benefits or anything like that. You're not disabled. You've got your papers. You're good. And you say, well, how is a marriage, the institution of marriage, going to benefit my life? And that's one thing. But marriage can kind of be like a drug. They can make a drug that is to cure cholesterol, right? So the drug is to lower cholesterol, but when they start giving this drug to women, let's say, they started noticing that women have a lower incidence of headaches with this drug. So the drug was intended to lower cholesterol, but now it's helping alleviate headaches and migraines. So what doctors will do is start using that cholesterol drug to treat the migraines. That is what marriage is to a lot of people. People think that marriage is for love, but people will use marriage to get other benefits, right? They will use kind of like the off-label benefits to get, well, they will try to extract from marriage off-label benefits. So when somebody says, "Oh, well, you should never get married," what I'm saying is that you do not know the off-label benefits. right? I do consults with people about marriages and divorces. There was a gentleman that contacted me recently. He has millions of dollars. I want to, make,
Yeah.
let's just say he has millions of dollars and he lives in New York. And his parents are not from this country, and his parents are old school, and his parents want him to get married, and his parents are sickly. All right, they're not going to be around a long time, but his parents want two things. His parents want him to get married, and his parents want him to have a child so that they will have grandchildren. This man has millions of dollars. He can afford a child. He can afford 10 children. And he wants to do this for his parents. He loves his parents so much. This is a young brother, but he loves his parents so much that he wants to get married and have a child for them. Now, you can say, is this fair to the woman? Is it fair to the child? You can put some judgment implications on this, but I'm leaving those aside. When, the manosphere says, oh, well, there's no reason to get married, this man has a reason. You might not agree with it. This is what I'm telling you guys. This is what you guys don't see. There are so many off label reasons to get married. I have seen so many, it will blow your mind, right? We're not even talking about the religious aspect. We're not even talking about the cultural aspect. There's so many reasons to get married. Maybe you who grew up in Detroit, or your parents are black and they don't care whether you get married or not. They don't care if you have grandkids or not. Your sister already got 4 kids. They are grandkidded up. They don't care whether you get married or not. But you're looking in your own mind frame and then extrapolating that out into the world. And what I'm telling you is that the world is so deep. There are so many situations where people value getting married, right? So when people say, oh, you should never get married, I'm like, this is a person that doesn't know
All of the extra
exactly.
off-label reasons why.
Exactly. And I
So
don't, I don't get it. You're exactly right, Suzette. The way you said it is perfect. And I don't get on my channel and start, trying to shout them down or anything. Because again, I don't hold you regular people to the same standard. And you guys are going to say some mistakes and I just let it go. Right.
okay, not the
Y'all.
regulars.
So, I was talking about cars and I talked about, I said a carburetor. I don't even know where the carburetor is. Somebody said, ha ha, lead attorney doesn't even know that cars these days don't even have carburetors, right? So, but you hold me to a lower standard. You're not going to say I'm
Okay.
an idiot. You're just going to say, okay, he's not a mechanic, right? So this
So
is what I understand. When you guys talk about marriages and divorces, you're not idiots. You're just not a divorce attorney. You're not an expert in the institution.
So let me ask this question. Sunny, thank you for this question. So would you say it's transactional? Because let's say there are a lot of reasons why people get married, and you're saying that there are many reasons that are unspoken why it would be a good idea for people to get married younger as opposed to get married older. If first and foremost, answer her question, please. Do you think it's transactional, so to speak, where people are lining up I give you this, I get that in return? Do you think that?
Absolutely.
And because again, the question was asked again. So is love any type of primary reason to be married, or why people get married, in your opinion, from your practice of divorce law? Or is it trans?
Absolutely.
Okay, so all of the
Absolutely.
above. You can break that down for us.
Yeah, people get married for love all the time. And people get married for reasons other than love all the time. That's what you
Yeah,
guys don't see.
yeah.
People are getting married for all different types of reasons,
So yeah, okay. So it could
right?
be for transactional reasons, not necessarily. So if a person does not have some
I
off-label
think it's always
reasons,
transactional, but
hmm
yeah,
oh, you say it's already always. All right.
it's
So it's not, it
always
could be. So
transactional.
Ruthie disagrees with you. He says always. So when I'm thinking about you, and so you were married around age 34.
No, no,
Was it
no,
a
no, no. I was married from like 30 to 40.
30 to 40? So thank you.
Hmm.
So were you seeking love, or were you in it for a love marriage, or were you seeking kind of like one of these off-label, like transactional reasons? Were you in love at the time?
Well, let's define what transactional means because
Hmm.
it's always transactional. All right. Um, Transactional, I mean, at its most fundamental level, means that I am doing something to get something in return.
Hmm.
That from right there.